The teacher drew a line in the middle of the classroom. She wanted to play a game with her students. If someone had experienced what she described, they were to step onto the line. The first few questions were simple. The students laughed and joked as they played, but then came a question.
Stand on the line if you've lost a friend to gang violence.
And almost the entire class stepped forward. The teens looked at each other, people who usually couldn't stand one another. But in that moment, they realized something. They shared the same pain, the same experiences. After the game, the teacher asked them to keep a journal. She told them to write about their lives, anything they wanted. If they didn't want her to read it, no one would. But if they did, they could leave it in the cabinet in the classroom. The next day, when she opened the cabinet, it was overflowing with notebooks. That's when she understood. These kids had been desperate for someone to really hear them. She opened the journals and found stories of broken, chaotic lives. Some had grown up with domestic violence, watching their mothers get beaten nearly to death by their fathers. Some had been around guns since childhood, just to survive, only to hold a dying friend in their arms and end up falsely imprisoned themselves. At 14, 15 years old, they couldn't see any kind of future. The teacher wanted to help them, but everyone around her tried to stop her. Her father, her husband, they all told her to give up. Reality threw roadblock after roadblock in her way, but to her, the fact that no one else was doing it was reason enough to do it herself. So she worked 3 jobs after school, pouring every dollar into these kids. She took them on trips. Their first stop, the Holocaust Memorial. There, each student received an identity card with a photo of a child who had lived through that time. The cards told where each child had been sent, which concentration camp, what had happened to them. At first, the students just thought the children on the cards were unfortunate, but as the truth slowly unfolded, their faces grew serious. They started to hope, deeply, silently, for a miracle. But when they followed the story to the final stop, they came face to face with a dark, bottomless cremation chamber.
My little boy died. He got off the train and they killed him. I don't know why it bothered me so much. I seen death all my life. But this little boy was only 5.
After the tour, the teacher took them to dinner with survivors of the Holocaust. These men and women shared their stories and showed the numbers tattooed on their arms. The kids were shaken, deeply, profoundly, forever.